Good morning, my name's Tristan Lowe and welcome to the Over 40s Fitness Podcast. It's September morning, we're at 2 weeks short of October, and we're going to start, historically, myself included, consuming more hot drinks as the cooler months come. And let's say hot drinks, let's look at things like coffee, tea, hot chocolate, Ovaltine, Horlicks, or anything like that. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to look at today is our nation's somewhat obsession with the coffee culture. Okay, and I would say I'm part of that as well. I like to go out and buy myself a cup of coffee 4 or 5 times a week. You know, I don't know, but what I have done is started looking at the numbers of what our nation spend on coffee. Okay, so let's start. Here's a brand. Here's the logo. Yeah, I think we can all recognise that logo. It's a world famous logo. And fun fact, this company, this is actually Starbucks. The company started in America, in Seattle City, in the Pike Place region, of which I've been fortunate enough to go to. I went to Seattle in 2018 over in the USA, and I had the fortune of visiting the world's first Starbucks coffee shop, and it was just a small place, nothing special. Big queue of people around the block waiting to get in from all walks of life, and it was called Pike Place, and that's where the world's first Starbucks opened. Now, Starbucks opened their first franchise, I think it was 1998 in the UK, possibly in London, but otherwise late 90s, 1998, first time they opened their franchise. Okay, I know they're one of many big brands: Starbucks, Costa Coffee, Caffe Nero, and then of course some smaller independent ones. But they're the big three that people think of up and down, and they're throughout every town and borough and city in the UK. Now, here's one of their cups, and here's a little cup of, a little pot of instant Americano that I bought myself from a well-known supermarket. All right, let's look at this one first. Right, I've done the numbers. The average price for a small Americano in a shop is about £2.70. In some shops they're a bit cheaper, but in other shops they go up to over £3. But the average is about £2.70. If you only buy one a day, that's not including buying one for your friends, family, others, or buying a cold drink with it, or buying sandwiches or their food, just buying the bare minimum black coffee, Americano, we'll call it Americano, or with milk, yep, £2.70. That works out to be just short of £1,000 a year. Now, bearing in mind again, just to reiterate, that's if you only buy one and you never buy another one. You never have two in there. You don't have any add-ons, any food, any flapjacks or whatever. So it's £1,000 a year, okay, just for one small entry-level coffee from Starbucks. But we know people that do that, that are hooked into the coffee culture, ordinarily spend a lot more than £2.70. They'll spend, the average is just under £5. And possibly more if you go on a Saturday and Sunday and you're taking your other half or your friends or family or whatever. So we know then the minimum you're going to spend is £1,000 a year. Right now, the financial implications are that we can have that spending habit for up to 20 years. Let's half it instantly. If we've only got hooked into that culture of going to the shop and buying, it works out at £10,000 over a 10-year period. But once again, it's going to be more than that, because we don't just buy one cup, you know, especially if we go on weekends. So, £1,000 a year. Now, what can £1,000 buy us? Now, there's going to be a lot of answers to that. Please feel free to share your answers, but I'm going to give you an idea. As a qualified personal trainer, I can tell you £1,000 would give you the best part of 4 months of training at a private centre. Yep, at our place in Lincoln. Yeah, just to go by that again, you could come and visit our centre once a week for over 4 months for £1,000. And if you've got a weight management issue, you need to put weight on, you need to reduce weight, you've got a body fat issue, you've got a body composition problem, a musculoskeletal disorder, you need to get stronger for work, you need to get stronger for your sport, more flexible, more mobile, you want to improve your nutrition intake and learn how to actually schedule and structure a well thought out and planned nutritional diary, you can get that from your local personal trainer up and down the country. Now granted, they're going to be a lot more, I imagine, in London. I've heard about trainers that charging up to £200 an hour, and that'll be for some celebrities or wealthy people that live in the middle of the West End of London. Right, so it's going to cost a lot more in London, but outside London, £1,000 should ordinarily get you an appointment with your trainer once a week at his or her centre, usually private. Go to a private centre. You know, I would advise you, don't spend your hard-earned money on taking on trainers in big box gyms or health clubs. They may have good knowledge, but it's not personal, it's not private, because there could be anything up to 50 people around you. So if you're going to pay your money for a personal trainer, make it personal, make it private. All right, so there's our little, I wouldn't call it a dilemma, that's just the numbers, yeah? There's about 40 to 50 calories, I think, in a small cup of coffee. Black coffee, maybe a bit more in a milky one. You might get a couple of grams of protein even if you add some milk to it, but it's such an insignificant amount. Now there are some physiological benefits to drinking coffee. It stimulates your nervous system, it increases your heart rate, it can be a pain blocker as well. If you're looking to do sports or get yourself ready for health and fitness, it can increase your cognitive, your awareness, your alertness. However, we're just talking the numbers. So once again, if you're hooked into that coffee culture, and as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing wrong with it, I do it myself, you know, but I've done the numbers and the numbers add up, okay? 1 and 1 will always make 2, no matter where you're from. So my advice is to say to yourself, what's more important? 1 small cup of coffee a day, yeah, for a year, or that same money, if not less, to take on a professional personal trainer such as myself or one of my colleagues, and we'll teach you. You can still enjoy your fix, your brew. We will guide you and give you a good idea of how to actually slowly but surely, I wouldn't say eliminate, but certainly cut down on those trips to your local, you know, famous brand of coffee shop. So, okay, that's a bit of food for thought. Just as a little to enter this here cost me £2.80, £2.85, and it's enough coffees for me to have 1 a day in this size for approximately 2 weeks. So for the price of this, okay, just under £3, it's almost the same price as 1 cup of coffee from your local store. Now, bearing in mind, when you go to your local coffee shop, yes, they've got staff, they've got overheads, they've got heating, electricity, they've got water, rent, rates, uniforms, quite sometimes free parking depending on where you go. But even with those things combined, the caffeine industry is an incredibly high markup business. I think I'm not sure, I think it's around 75 to 85% markup on these beans. Although some people call them seeds, okay? Do the research yourself. They call it coffee beans, but I've read that they're actually classed as a seed and not a bean. Doesn't matter. What does matter is do the math and say to yourself, if you'd like to take on a trainer or a physical therapist and change your body, change your outset, change your opinion, your approach, improve your health, okay, say to yourself, well, how do I financially afford it, right? And some people say they can't afford it even though they work full time. Well, take an item like, you know, a daily spending habit. We're going to get into that in our next video, and that will be on streaming services or subscriptions, however you want to call them, and what we subscribe to and why, and what the financial implications of doing it are to our bank account, but equally to our health. So, yeah, my name's Tristan Lowe. It's the Over 40s Fitness Podcast. September, time to get a hot drink soon. This has been a short one, what, 10 minutes? Okay, that's short by my standards. Feel free to like, subscribe and share this channel. I'm open to your comments. Right, until the next one. Thanks for watching.